let's go outside. Let's take a walk in the sun. There are things to learn and things to see. A big wide world for you, your dog, and me. Dog Talk. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Dog Talk. I'm Pat Becker, you know my host, Rusty, and today we have a fantastic show. I'd like to kind of start it off by addressing our mission, which is to educate people to be responsible pet owners.
I agree,
right?
100%. I think what we do here is not only ask questions, but we provide resources.
Absolutely, and that's the important thing. And I'd like to kind of address right off about children, our kids. And it's so important to set good models for them, to do the things that need to be done as far as pet care and that sort of thing, to show them how to do these things. And you know that more and more in this day and time, there are so many things that are diversions. There's so many kind of, if you will, addictions. You know, you were talking about the cell phones.
Cell phones for, you know, preteens, and they can be addicted by how many followers they have and how many likes. And,
oh, I know it. And of course, to say nothing of the more severe sides that they can get into is drugs, you know, alcohol and the drugs that they can get into. I had talked with my friend Steve Mortensen from Providence Working Canines, and he said, let me tell you exactly what goes on here, Pat. So I went out and did a little video with him. Watch this. I'm Pat Becker. When I went to school, this is the kind of building that I attended. The desks, the chairs, the teachers, we could all count on to be there for us. It was a simpler, easier time. Things have changed. The buildings have stayed the same, but the atmosphere is different. I'm holding in my hand a magazine that says Street Drugs. This is the kind of magazine that everyone in the school business has a copy of. Why? You think that's unusual? Not today, it isn't. My friend Steve Mortensen from Providence Working Canines met with us to help us understand the dangers which exist in our schools today. I am so proud that you are here today, and welcome, for goodness sake.
Thank you, Pat.
Now, your business is security. Your business is hunting out the different problematic areas in the school. That would include what?
Drugs, alcoholic beverages, commonly abused medications, and gunpowder-based items.
Wow. And I have seen a little video of some of the items that you have found, and it astounds me. I cannot believe that children would have these in their possessions. As you say, firearms. But the drug thing is just unbelievable. You sent me something that was the latest thing you said that was some kind of pot candy.
Yes, ma'am.
And they take these and chew on them, so they're like lozenges, and then they receive a high when they're in class?
Yes, ma'am. THC laced with canna butter, candies, and suckers. We're finding them right here in Oklahoma City. And the students are literally getting high without the odor of the ignited cannabis sativa or marijuana, and also with no smoke that's visible to the teacher right in the middle of the classroom.
Just amazing. So scary. Now, you brought some paraphernalia and things here. Explain to me what these are.
Well, all odor is bound by 4 factors: time, temperature, wind current, and humidity. Mm-hmm. You have an olfactory lobe in your nose the size of a nickel. Mm-hmm. You can scent and discriminate the difference between an apple pie and a cherry pie. All of our dogs working across the country and your dogs in your own backyard have an olfactory lobe that runs from their occipital stop to the end of their muzzle called a Bowman's gland.
Unbelievable. As we know for sure, it's much better than their eyesight and their hearing. That nose is what is...
And they can scent and discriminate the difference between not only that apple pie and that cherry pie, but the type of flour that is used in both. That's why we use dogs to do what man cannot do. Amazing. So students will attempt to hide their poor choices in everyday items. We call these stealth paraphernalia. And if the camera can see these, here is just an everyday marker, at least we think it is. Actually functions, but it's much, much more. There's a smoking device in the bottom of the marker. Any type of color that you can think of.
Who makes that? Who builds that kind of thing?
There are companies that make these. They are legal presently to manufacture, legal to retail, and legal to possess unless they are in close proximity to CDS, which is controlled
Not
dangerous
here in
substance.
Oklahoma.
Right here in Oklahoma.
They're made here in Oklahoma.
Yes, ma'am.
Now that is really scary.
Flashlight, take the clip, rotate it till it exposes the threaded receptacle. Take the lamp, unscrew it counterclockwise, screw it into the threaded receptacle clockwise, take the lens, unscrew it counterclockwise. Never was a flashlight, never will be. It's a smoking device for poor choices. What's this look like, Pat?
It's a battery.
Well, or is it? Unscrew the bottom of the battery, place the product in the bottom, in this case, i.e. crack cocaine. Pull the copper top past the first O-ring until it clicks, exposing the heat dissipator. Never was a battery, never will be. It's a crack cocaine pipe. Lip balm, or is it? There's the bowl, there's the draw. It's a smoking device. Golf ball, and this is a new one that's out. And that's a grinder to grind up marijuana in order that it might be smoked.
Well, let's talk about your dogs. Now, the dogs that you have in your group, are they primarily of one breed?
No, ma'am. We use dogs with high drives. We conduct European PSP tests to grade our dogs looking for insatiable prey drive that transitions into insatiable hunt drive. We use Labrador retrievers. We use golden retrievers. We have German shepherds. We have Belgian Malinois. We are just getting ready to pick up a new border collie. We have English Springer Spaniels, and they all have drives that are just off the charts that allow us to go into schools and make a difference. Now, for our school dogs, they're the non-aggressive breeds.
So that would be your labs and your, Goldens and
Yes,
that sort
ma'am,
of thing.
exactly. And those dogs will come into schools. We will not contract with a district that wants to lock down when we arrive. We believe the most important thing that takes place is that learning environment. We literally train with lockers slamming and bells ringing, and we encourage the students to interact with our dogs on campus. There's no reason to suspend hall passes, to close doors, to stop testing. We jump on board and go the direction our client is already going, which is the learning environment. Our dogs even wear little tuxedo ties when they go to school proms, and the girls like having their pictures taken more with our dogs than they do their ugly old boyfriends.
Now that I can understand. So I'd love to see some of your dogs doing their things. Can we do that?
We can.
Let's do it.
All right. This is Blue Boy. He's a 4-year-old Labrador Retriever, and I have hidden some ethanol, some beverage alcohol, the #1 killer in the learning environment. We'll see if Blue Boy can find it. Very nice. Good dog, good boy. And that's how he works.
I'll tell you, it is pretty scary, but it is. These things distract our kids, as they're growing up. And I know when we grew up, it was a lot simpler.
It was a little bit different. You're right. There were not the challenges that our kids face now.
Exactly.
With the plethora of opportunities for them to make poor choices.
Yes, it is. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the Trainers Forum is here. That'll be a good thing.
It's going to be excited. I'm excited. It's going to be good.
Your mom's going to be here.
My mom's going to be here.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
Welcome to Trainers Forum. We are excited today. We've got Maddie Snell from Azani Pro Training in Edmond. We have my mother, Kathy Rasmussen, from Canine Sports Academy in Norman, and of course Pat Becker. For those of you that haven't realized, Kathy hasn't been on our show for about 2 years because she offered to have me fill in, and then lo and behold, I kind of kept working for her. So welcome back to the show, Mom.
Thank
We're
you.
excited
Thank
that
you.
you're here.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So today, what we want to talk about, because our viewers often get dogs, we want to talk to you about how do you incorporate a new dog into your family? What are some tips and techniques they should consider?
Well, first off, making sure you find the right fit in a dog. So making sure the dog fits with the right lifestyle. So if you have an active family, finding an active dog. If you're looking for a dog to be a couch potato, you don't want to get a very high active border collie. So making sure you find the right dog and giving it that time to get to know it before you expect a ton out of it.
What do you think, Kathy?
Well, just as importantly, if finding the right dog for you, because so many people end up with the high energy dog they didn't expect, but it's bringing that dog home to your environment where there's another dog already. And that's where one of the big mistakes also comes in. They don't do the proper prep in letting the dogs become familiar. And there's many different ways we could talk about to make a better transition when you do add the new dog
Oh,
to.
absolutely, absolutely, such as neutral territory,
Right.
introducing them there. So tell me a little bit about how you would do that.
Well, you can, if your dog is crate trained, you can have your dog in a crate and bring the dog to your home and let the new dog explore, take it away, and then let your dog explore where this dog has been, but also go to another spot, let them meet, and now they're going to already kind of know each other's scents. And then at the point you think, okay, we're ready to go home, don't just bring that dog into the house. Let them meet out in the front yard that is not as territorial in most cases.
A neutral area.
The neutral area in general. Now, I have fence in the front of my yard too, but it's still a good meeting spot for the dogs.
Maddie, what do you think?
Well, and also an important thing, that's something a lot of people struggle with, is you want to understand that dogs meeting face to face is not a good thing. So I have a lot of people who wanted the dogs to meet in the front yard or meet in public, but they'll walk the dogs directly towards each other, which causes a conflict. So I always encourage a paired walk. So having one family member walking the new dog, another family member walking the dog who's already a part of the household, and we walk them side by side so they're on a neutral level. Neither dog is challenging the other.
Yeah, and I like to do that too. However, I will put them on one dog's on the left here and the other dog on the right.
Absolutely.
So that the people are in the center to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of integrate them from there. And then when do you turn them loose?
Well, you have to watch your dog. It's the dog will tell you if I'm comfortable yet. I typically drop my leash. I tell the other person, drop their leash, whoever's with the second dog, and I let the dogs decide, and you'll very quickly know whether there's still tension or not. I have oftentimes taken a class outside, and I have people that are, oh my God, what's going to happen? And I just watch all of this, and then I say, drop your leashes, and it's terror.
Yes.
They're
And
astounded.
then I go, where did your dog go? Where did your dog go? They scatter. They're more interested in where they are.
The diversion of being outside.
And then they gradually, and I
Exactly.
said, now you can take your leashes off and let these
Exactly.
dogs play.
So I have a question too. So when you bring a dog home, what about gender? How do
Go
you
ahead.
feel about that?
I always encourage, of course, spayed and neutered dogs, but of different genders. I find that a neutered male and a spayed female tend to get along a little bit better than, say, two females in a house, and definitely better than two unaltered males in a house.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Well, but what about a puppy? What if you have a senior dog or you have a dog
Oh,
that's
that's
been
a
in your
mistake.
family for 4 or 5 years and you bring in a new puppy, Kathy?
I did, yeah. But they're all getting along well because I am a dog trainer and I can read the dog's body language. And the puppy came several times, and I took dogs to see her.
So what are some tips for our audience
See, and
on how to incorporate that?
I was going to say that too, because the big thing here is because we all sit here, we're all trainers, we know how to respond, we know how to react, we watch our dogs, but for people who don't, I think the biggest thing is what? Go to a trainer.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
but-
helpful to talk to somebody if you need help, because people will call both of us. Oh, we just brought this new dog in, and it's a big dog, little dog, or an old dog, too young a dog. And I'd say, did you do any initial anything? And it's really hard to backtrack after you make that mistake.
That's true.
And I also find we have to watch for telling people to be careful of resource guarding. A lot of people don't think about it, and the new dog comes in the house and they free feed the old dog, and then the new dog comes in and takes over the food or takes over the chew bone.
Resource toys, exactly
Exactly.
that. That's my toy.
Mine.
Yeah, that's my toy.
And I always feel that too when you have an older dog and you're bringing a younger dog in. I always treat my older dog first. I always do a little bit more here to begin with, and then everything seems to be set. And the whole fact too that has occurred to me, that you bring home a puppy that is just great. They learn to get along, and then that puppy grows up and gets to be a little older, and what happens then? The older dog gets older, the younger dog gets older. So what happens then, Kathy?
Number one, I have spayed and unspayed, neutered, unneutered dogs, and I can do that. But there's still those challenges, and this puppy all of a sudden is bigger than you expect. The puppy's hormones, if it hasn't yet been spayed or neutered, start to kick in. And yeah, new challenges begin, and it's a lot of times you can equate this to child rearing.
Exactly.
You know,
Who wants to bring another kid to their family?
Watch out
Wait,
now.
oh no.
Well, I mean, siblings get along fine for a while, and then there's that teenage time, and they're spatting. He and his sister did always get along. They were really good buddies,
that's good.
and I was really proud of that. They had their issues like all family members do, but
And
it
what-
happens with our dogs.
It does. So what about a multiple dog household then?
I have 5.
You have 5?
Maddie, you just
Well,
have one, right?
well, no, I have 4. I actually
Oh.
recently did add a new dog into our household, and it was an interesting, different situation with introducing this new dog, because he's a large breed. He's a Shepherd Husky mix who weighs about 90 pounds.
So he's
a very,
larger than your other dogs.
He's larger, and when he actually came into the house, he was not yet altered. He was not neutered, and so I brought in a large, unaltered male dog. So it took a lot of introduction, a lot of time. So I had to make a point to do everything we said. I had to introduce them in neutral turf. I had to take away all the resources, but also more importantly, I had to make it fun for everyone. So we go on a lot of positive walks. We do a lot of interaction. But when I was not home, they would all be put up separately. I encourage you not to leave dogs unsupervised at home until you know that they are comfortable with each other completely.
And they all interact. They all have their little space that they like. They always have their little
I opened up the door to my dog room, and all 5 of the dogs were loose, and I went, "Oh, what happened?" Yeah, and one time we had company at the house, and I said, "Where are the kids, or where are the dogs?" And then I hear this noise, and these kids are out in the back in the dog yard with all 5 dogs. Well, I think we still only had 4, but I wasn't there. That was part of the benefit when Mom is
the
around.
alpha wasn't with the pack, and the
exactly.
dogs were being
That's
great.
it.
Yeah,
That's
but they're
exactly
always
right.
great when you're in the house and
Yeah,
somebody's
and
there.
I think a good point, a good issue too, is if you have an older dog who is, say, 15 or 16, and if you have a multiple dog household, that dog is going to get a little picked on.
But also with that senior dog, and that's something to remember, is a lot of times the senior dog, bringing a new puppy in can give it new life.
Right.
It can get it out and moving, which is very nice. But we also have to remember that dog's going to need breaks from the puppy.
Yes.
It's not going to get to have the same energy to
Yes,
run and wrestle.
exactly.
And so I have a lot of owners that'll call me up and go, "My older dog is growling at the puppy or is unhappy with the puppy." And I go, "They can get along, but we need to let that older dog have its naps, have its breaks."
Yeah, and sometimes I think too, sometimes an older dog too, that little growl or that little nudge does not mean I'm going to attack you. It means
Leave me alone.
It means stop that.
That's right. Learn the parameters. Learn what's going on.
Wow, this conversation was great, ladies. I really hope that we can continue to have more conversations like this. I think you all gave some great advice to our audience. Thank you,
You've
Maddie,
got to
for
come
being
back
on there.
to kind of keep him on the leash. you
Yeah,
see.
it's exciting. This is the first time that Mom and I have been on camera together.
Yeah,
So,
we're
have to have a picture pass.
exactly.
So-
we're going to take a little break here, and when we come back, we're going to see John Gary down at the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter.
sounds great. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Dog Talk fans, make sure you join the conversation on social media. Just go to facebook.com/dogtalktv. We'd love to hear a story of your furry friend, so send us an email to pat@dogtalktv.com. You could be featured as our Dog of the Week. Now, enjoy the show.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
So every month I have decided to go down to the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter and find out a story, a really neat story about one of the dogs. There are hundreds of them. And we went down to meet with John Gary, and we got one that I think you'll enjoy.
Oh, I look
Watch
forward to
this.
seeing it.
Hey,
Hey Pat, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good, good.
We just stopped down to kind of see what was going on.
Well, I'm glad you did. We have a really cool dog with a really cool story I'd love to show you.
Oh, I'd love that. A little dog?
It's a medium-sized dog, smaller dog though, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
Show me to it.
Hi Pat, you remember Tina, don't you?
Sure. Tina, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
This is Winnie, the little dog I was telling you about.
Oh, how precious. How precious. So, Tina, what's the story about this little dog?
Well, Winnie was brought in as a stray, and she couldn't use one of her legs, so we had her evaluated and did an x-ray. Found out that she had an injury to her shoulder blade that couldn't be repaired. So she was approved for our Angel Fund program.
Now, explain to me about the Angel Fund program.
Well, it's a program we have for donations where people can donate specifically to that program, and it allows us to have funds for animals that our vet staff is not able to do the extent of their vet care, so we can take them out.
Can you lift her up where we can see her a little bit? She says, I'm a little bit intimidated here. There she is. There she is. So now you're fostering her?
Yeah, we've been fostering her for about a month.
About a month. So how old do they say she is?
Right now she's about 4 months old.
Oh, she is a puppy, isn't she? Bless her heart. So she was brought in. Do they know what had happened, or can they guess
Even
from
the
the
vet
injury?
wasn't sure what happened to cause the injury, but she
So
wasn't
where was
able
she
to use
found?
the
Was she
leg.
surrendered or found?
She was found as a stray and brought to us with several other puppies. So there was at least 3 other puppies, I believe,
Oh,
that
so
she was
in the
brought
litter, in this particular litter?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
And this particular pup just had an injury to her leg, so they wound up amputating the leg, and she gets along great. Like, she gets along much better without it than she did with.
Well, sure. There's no pain at all anymore, and she'll learn to balance. Dogs are capable of doing this. A 3-legged dog, you know, is a dog that can balance, and it's amazing. You know, it just astounds me how they can go on and have a good life. So this little dog will be up for adoption.
Yeah, she should be up for adoption soon. She still has to get her spay surgery done, but they've already removed the sutures from her amputation, and she should be available for adoption soon.
Oh, that is amazing. John, how many of this kind of little incidents happens here?
Well, we see a lot of them, and you know, prior to having the Angel Fund, these were the type of dogs that we would have to euthanize just because the care wasn't, we weren't able to provide the care that they needed. So this Angel Fund program has been huge for us and huge for dogs like Winnie. We see dogs every month, probably several dogs every month that have been either hit by a car or have a broken limbs. We've had dogs with long-term injuries that we know they're going to take a long time to get over. And these Angel Fund and foster parents like Tina make this program successful.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think this is just fantastic. And I would like to donate $1,000 to your Angel Fund to see,
That's wonderful.
that we can keep this kind of thing going, because I can see the value of it. This little dog's going to have a wonderful life and capable, you know, because of what you guys have done. It is an amazing, amazing kind of thing. So, you know, I'd like to come back, John. Could we come back once a month or so? And if there is a story like this that we could hear it? Would that be good?
Sure.
Okay,
I'm not
well,
happy.
we'll do it. Well, you are just precious. And what did you call her?
Winnie.
Winnie. Like Winnie the Pooh? Are you Winnie the Pooh? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Is that the sweetest thing? Good kisses. Thank you so much, Winnie. You are just precious. Yes, you are. Oh, guys, it's inspiring. It really, really is. What a sweet baby. John, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Tina, God bless you.
Oh, thank you.
I know that you are just the foster mom that this dog needed.
Oh, yeah. She's
That's
been a
for
good
sure.
baby.
I can see that. Ah, I'm so moved. Hey, so that was absolutely wonderful. And I think, as I say, each month we'll go down and we'll get this video, and the stories are just unbelievable. Some of them, most of them have happy endings, and I understand from John, I talked with him recently, and this little dog has been adopted.
Oh, beautiful.
Isn't
that's
that
That's a
fantastic?
great end of our
It
day,
is.
and that's a great end to a story.
Yes, yes.
And please, friends, go out and check your animal shelters when you're seriously looking for a dog. There are so many that need a home.
So many puppies, middle-aged dogs, they're just, and some great seniors, as we know. So you guys take care. We've had a great show. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know what you'd like to see, and we'll see you later.
We're talking about dogs. Talking about big dogs, talking about little dogs, oh yeah. Chasing the ball, chasing the cat, digging holes, thing like that. Dogs, talking about dogs. Laughing dogs, sad dogs, happy dogs, mad dogs, dogs. Just talking about dogs. Lost and alone, running the street, checking the garbage, looking to eat. Out there sad and on their own, the law will get them if they got no home. Dogs, talking about dogs. Dogs, we're talking about dogs. You say they were angels sent from above, then a year or two later you fell out of love. You dumped them, man, and kicked them out. Now what the heck was that about? Dogs. We're talking about dogs. Dogs, them poor little dogs. Talking about big dogs, talking about a little dog, oh yeah. Chasing the ball, chasing the cat, digging the hole, things like that. Dogs, we're talking about dogs. Laughing dogs, sad dogs, happy dogs, mad dogs.